to start the analysis. Good morning. Good morning, Mr. Finger. Good morning. All right, so sorry, my internet has been unstable. So we are going to start from uh, fundamentals for this morning. Please do confirm if you can hear me. If you can hear me, just type a yes for me in the chat so I'll know you can hear. If you can hear me, please drop a yes in the chat so I'll know you can hear me before I proceed.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, that's good. Thank you. Thank you, sir. All right, thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, so it's going to be an interesting one. Uh, all right, so for today, today's going to be very interesting because we actually have the CPI for today, and it's a three data news. Now, the CPI basically the consumer price index, which is an economic indicator for inflation, right? An economic indicator for inflation. Now, with this is more like a futuristic projection of what they are going to do to interest rates, right? So here is actually for currency, you know. So the CPI today is our major driver for us to watch out in the market, and it's by 2:30 p.m. So basically from 1:30, just watch out for the market. The USD pairs is going to be massive volatility. All things being equal, if CPI is CPI, right? You know, we have the major uh, news that moves the market, or the major events or data that moves the market, which is the employment, that's the FOMC, sorry, the NFP, the non-farm payroll or non-farm employment change. We also have CPI, we have PPI also, FOMC, the Federal Market Committee, which is in charge of interest rate. So by 1:30 p.m., start watching for volatility in the market. Now, we don't know how it's really going to affect the market because right now there's a lot going in the US, although there has been some, pipe down as regards to tariffs. But you also know right now that another war is currently going on. But this war is affecting more of stocks, especially stocks that has to do with Elon Musk. Um, it's fueled with the US President Donald Trump, back and forth. I don't know if it's staged. I don't know what it's for, but it's still affecting the market now. But hopefully that is not the case here. I'm just talking about those who trade stocks. Um, so for today, we are clear until 1:30 p.m. And after which, the major driver of the market for USD pair is going to be the FOMC. All right, so let's go back to our charts for those who remember. For those who remember this one yesterday, we had this drop. We're expecting price to tap back because we had this zone drop, which price dipped, and you can see it fall again. So for those who already have this and use it to take this trade, you see massive profit already, right? All right, thank you so much. So thanks. All right, so now let's do analysis aside those who have this, so it will not be one-sided. Okay. So what do we expect for GBP USD today? Now, if you look at it clearly, you notice that GBP USD before now has been going up. It's still maintaining an uptrend, right? It's still going up, but we are just currently experiencing retracements right now. Why is my chart not showing completely? I want to see the full chart. We're experiencing retracement right now. I think I need to put this back so that I can show.
That is not showing.
You can't see your screen.
At all. Is
The chart
the
is not showing. Not that we are seeing your screen, but the chart is not showing.
forex market? I mean, the forex factory that is showing.
Chart looks like it's hanging. Please, can you still hear me? Am I still audible? Can you still see my charts?
We can hear you.
You can't see my
But
screen.
for we do not see the one displayed.
Your chart is not showing. It's
Oh,
just on
okay.
still forex. Yes.
So how about now? Can you see my
But we're
chart?
okay now.
Better now,
We are
better.
fully.
Yes.
All right, that's it. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, so that means you didn't even see when I was talking about
Yes,
this.
yes, we don't see it.
Wow. Okay, so for GBP USD for today, like I said, we have been pushing higher and higher this 4 time frame. Price has been pushing higher and higher and higher. All right, so we are still very much in an uptrend. What we are just experiencing now is some massive retracement because price here gave us a double top. We had price respecting this resistance area right here. Just wicked above, didn't break it, and started to come down. So the last one we also have here is these levels. We had this level right here of price. So price is most likely coming down back to these levels here. And the last other block we had, or the last area we had for massive movement is these levels here. So I'm just underlining it so that I can see clearly. So price is most likely coming back down to tap into this area before pushing upward again. All right, so price is most likely coming back down to tap into this area before pushing upward again. So if you notice yesterday, we had a break of this particular low. Yesterday, we had a break of, okay, this was an internal low. Price took out this area, but also took out this level. Price took out these levels right here. Okay. Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, I'll sort that out when we're done. Thank you so much. Okay, so price broke below this particular level right here, right? It's just an indication that in future, price want to keep pushing down. When price breaks a previous low, especially significant low, so this was a low point before price pushed higher, and price pushed lower to break this point to go lower. So it's an indication that price want to push lower, all right, in future. So what it means is you will need to wait for price to push back. So that move that broke this particular low, we can be targeting that area as a point where we can continue selling from, all right? So target the last buy before it. This exactly is what we have. So price came back, for those who were yesterday, price came back, tapped into it, and we could see that price has been falling since yesterday. even up until this morning, price has been falling. So I expect that all things being equal, price should fall to this level if it still wants to fall. But anywhere around here, then there's a very high tendency that price should keep pulling back up. And in case price breaks this level, let me shrink it out. So in case price breaks this level, breaks it to the downside, it means that we'll be looking out, should be looking out for sell opportunities on GBP USD. That upward push has now come to an end if price breaks below this particular level here, right? So this is the last point we expect price to get. If it breaks below, then look out for sell opportunities in future to keep pushing price to the downside, probably to this level, probably to this strong support level here again. So if price breaks this level here, then we expect price to keep pushing to the downside. For all things being equal, I expect it to get here, then bounce to do the same, get here, then start at USD. Now for Euro USD also, we've also been an upward, been experiencing that upward push. This is my 4-hour time frame also. Price has been pushing higher and higher and higher, breaking structures to the upside. Price pushed to the upside. Did a retracement because this low didn't get as low as this low. It pushed higher again, just slightly, then retraced again higher than this low, then pushed even further higher, like massive push. Then we had another retracement here. Okay, we have this retracement to the downside, another push to the upside, another retracement here. Now, I'm doing this because this is my higher time frame. So all of these smaller push, they are very significant when you come to your 1 hour, when you come to your 15 minutes, it looks like a trend. Now, push lower. Now, this was a massive retracement, but it did not go below this low. So we are still fine, right? We are still fine. Since price did not go below this low, we are still fine. And after which price has been pushing higher. But guess what? Price has not yet pushed high to this level right here. Can you see this? Because we need price to push higher and even go above this level to maintain its upward trend. So what we have been having is every time price push high, retraces, it push higher than previous, retraces, push even further higher, retraces, push higher, retrace, push higher, retrace. We expect a push higher to the upside, right? We expect a push higher to the upside for us to be certain that this uptrend wants to continue. So you are most likely will continue looking for buy opportunities until price gets to this level here. Until price gets to this level right here. This is on 4 hours. This is how it looks like on 1 hour. This is how it looks like on 1 hour. So in 1 hour, you still have some room to go for price to still push. Okay, so let's look at our smaller structure. Every time. Sorry. Let's look at how price has been moving on the euro dollar. So remember, we have been in an upward movement for a while now. After this massive retracement, you can see the retracement from this high right here. All of these were retracements, retracement. And after the retracement, price started to push higher and higher. Okay, push higher and higher, push higher and higher, mitigating different zones. Right. So now what we expect from the euro dollar is price should continue pushing higher from these levels here. So if we can identify a good support, this was a high that was broken. Let me push it higher. Okay. This level here was broken at this point. Price came back into this level, into this first level here. This is your other block, and pushed higher, even breaking this particular level. All right, so we have been expecting that continuous push to the upside to come and take out this level right here. So most likely when price taps into this point here, we should experience some push back to the upside, right? So for the euro dollar, I expect price to tap here and push forward until we get to this level here before we can consider selling, or we wait for a reaction at that point. Most likely you should break it. Now, if it breaks that level, we keep looking out for buy trades. It tells us that we are still very much in an uptrend. We are still very much in an uptrend. So this is the first time in a while that our price will range for this much. Notice that previously when price just breaks the previous high, it pushes higher, then it can retrace back into any point of interest that was not mitigated, then continue pushing higher. But now, after price breaking this level, we expect it to come, breaking this level, we expect price to push higher. So it's yet to do that. So we are still hopeful for euro dollar. Price can tap here, then push higher. So yesterday we were going bullish on this guy. Yesterday, in the morning, around this time, no, I think around 9, past 9, almost 9:30 thereabout, we're going bullish. We started to buy, and I still expect that price should get to, I was expecting price to get to this level, because price has been pushing high and high, so it has given us triple top now. So I was expecting price to come back to that level, if at all we have a chance to sell. So you can see this particular level. We have a triple top. So price has failed to break this resistance level now for a while. So the first time it got there, the second time it came to that level, and this is the third time. And every time it gets there, you can see retracement. Got there again, see retracement. Now it got there. All right. Now it has gotten there. So I might not be looking out for buy opportunities again, but I don't want to sell until price comes back close. Or worst case scenario, there's a small internal resistance that price created since yesterday. This level right here. Now, this is the format. If price is breaking below lows, it's a sign or a signal that price wants to keep going further down. And if price is breaking above previous highs, it's a sign that price wants to keep pushing higher. All right, so what do I mean? Just pay attention. If you notice, let's say this was a high. Now price took out this high. So at some point, you'll see a retracement back either at that high or slightly lower before a continuous push to the upside, right? Then this was now a high created. After retracement, price took out this high. It's a sign that price wants to keep pushing higher. Most times, it might not be immediate, especially if it pushes higher and gives distance, it's most likely will retrace back down before continuing. Price broke this level right here. All right. Now, that price came back down. So we have a major low. So see what happened here. So when price was coming down, for price to break this low, it means that price want to keep going lower. Sometimes you expect that retracement to tap back into the zone and continue, right? So price created a low. It broke this low right here. What do you notice? It means that price wants to keep pushing higher and retracement. Let's see. I think some persons are. Let me have everyone mute again. Okay. So this gives us a cue of what should happen in future, right? Now, price got to this resistance level here. Now it broke below this particular low, which means that in future, price want to keep pushing lower, but you need to wait for a retest. After price pushed lower and broke below this level right here. So you notice that there was a retest before we kept pushing, continue going lower. Now, if you're expecting price to go lower and price refused to go low, instead, price started going higher now, right? What you now do is when price breaks a high, a previous high, an established previous high, it tells you that price wants to keep pushing higher. Oops. Sorry, I want to move this. All right, good. Now, this was a high when price was going to the other side. You never can tell if price want to get here, they keep falling, right? So, but what happened was instead of price to fall, price broke it. For price to break above that level, it's a signal that price want to keep pushing higher, but we need to wait for a retracement, which after we saw some retracement here, this was a massive one though, price returned and pushed even further higher. So, but when price is breaking lows, price want to come lower. Now, see what price is doing currently. This is just a shortcut tip I'm giving to you in order to look out for entries, at least to know where price is most likely going to push to. Oops. Wow, what's wrong with my trackpad? Okay. All right, so notice that there was this internal low here. Price has pushed, swept it, like pushed lower, faster. And it's a sign that price want to go lower, right? Price want to go lower, but before it continues going lower, it needs to retrace back before going lower. And we can see that since yesterday, price has struggled to go. So that retracement was what we bought. So price has been struggling to go higher. So what are we expecting next? Is price to go lower? Because once price broke this level, it tells us that in future price wants to go lower. So I expect price for GBP, JPY to push lower and push lower below this point. Even push lower below this point. Invariably, all things being equal, I'm expecting GBP, JPY to come even as low as this level here. All things being equal, but it might not come there today. Might be today, tomorrow, possibly before the end of this week. And I won't be shocked if it does that today, right? But I know it should go lower than this low. And if it goes lower than this low, it will retrace and keep pushing lower again, right? So that is for GBP, JPY. Now, that is the bearish bias. But if price pushes up and breaks this high here, remember, price has been pushing higher and higher before we have this triple top, right? So if that happens, it breaks above that level, then we are going to be looking for buy entries. But we'll wait for price to retrace first. Once it can, if it breaks above this level, then it tells us that that upward momentum is still very much strong. Price will keep pushing further in future. We just need to wait for a retest before we now give that buy, right? But what it's currently doing now is showing more signs that it wants to go to the downside. since there's this massive push to the downside first, right? Breaking below the closest low. So that's for GBP, JPY. Let's see if we have any trade on NZD card or NZD USD. Okay. Let me see where the direction has been. Wow, this has been a massive range. Massive range. This NZD card is not going anywhere. At least it has not really been going anywhere for a long time now. Wow. Well, I'm shocked, but I don't really trade this guy. I don't really trade it. So I'm not sure we'll have good trades here, because for those who trade this, support and resistance traders might enjoy this market because it's going up and down, up and down. Look at it, up and down, up and down. But price can break out of this point too. It can break out of this point. So avoid this kind of markets. As much as it is within you, avoid this kind of markets. At least that's what I do. I avoid such markets. I look for something that is trending. Either you are going up or you are going down. All I need to do is, if I can identify your direction from my higher time frame, like my 4 hours is telling me this is going up, my daily is telling me that these are daily candle, price is currently going up, although we had this massive retracement, so price is still pushing to the upside. This NZD USD, right? Let me see the comments. Oh, my chart is not showing. Oh, okay. I think that message was was like several minutes ago. Please confirm if you can still see my chart too. Let it not be that I'm just talking to myself.
It's showing.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Yes. So on the NZD USD, let me see, zoom out one more time. Now, overall, our trend is a downtrend. This is my daily time frame. Overall is a downtrend, right? So what price has been doing thus far has been retracement, retracement. So this is just a, if you can understand this, it's still all about market structure, but I'm not giving it in details. We don't have enough time. But if you can understand this concept, trading becomes easier. If you can understand this concept, trading becomes easier. Now, what is that concept? It's very simple, which is, if price is going up, okay, let me do going down, because this is more of a downtrend. Now, this is a high here. We had this high point here. Let's say you were expecting price to keep pushing up, but price unfortunately could not push up again. And what you notice that price pushed down, especially going below any of this low, either this significant low or this significant low. So let's say below this particular lows right here. Okay. Now just copy and paste this template on anything. Copy and paste it on anything, it works. Now the low includes the wicks, so the wicks, the lower shadow, the wicks of the candle. We'll get to USJPY. We'll get there. We'll get there. Okay, so now for price to go down massively and break this particular low, which you call maybe support, let me put it in your language, understand. Price breaking a support. Because this should have served as support. This has served as support before. It served as support here, but notice that when it served as support here, it went higher, breaking above this high, right? Which we're expecting a retest to keep pushing higher, but unfortunately, it didn't push high. Instead, it went down, threatened this low, and took out this low that broke support. So it's a signal that price will keep pushing lower, but it might not be now. For in future, price wants to keep lower. So two ways. There is what we call break and continuation. There's break and retest before continuation, right? So it depends on how price broke that level. So sometimes the best trades are break and retest. Break and continuation is risky because you never can tell if it will retest first before going. And sometimes, if you are waiting for a retest, it might not do the retest, it might just continue pushing lower and lower, right? There can be instances we would see right here. So what we experienced was that price broke lower. Like I said, in future it will be going down. So all you need to do is just mark that level that brought price to the downside. This was what brought price to the downside, this leg. This is the last high created before price broke this level. So around this place is where we are going to be looking for price to retrace to and fall, which it did. And notice the same thing here again. The moment price came, started coming down, coming down. That's why I'm expecting price to take out that low. Price came down here again. For the first time, it didn't break the low. And later, it finally took out the low. It finally broke below it. So if I extend this, it broke below it here. It broke below it right here, at this point. So which means this was a break retest before continuation. All right, this was a break retest before continuation. Now, after price retested, so where is it going to retest to? That high, the most recent high before price broke below the low. This is that most recent high. So if you put something there to mark that level, price will come to that point and fall back again. And when it's falling, it's going below this low. I need everyone to be mute. I need everyone to. Sometimes you never can tell. Your mind will just go off. Okay, so price then came, it dropped lower. Now it took out this low also while dropping lower. So naturally, we expect price to go back, retrace into the last high we had before price dropped lower, right? Which price went to this point here. But what we noticed was that it didn't stop. It pushed above it, right? It broke this high and went even further higher. Now, what does it mean? It means that in future, price wants to go higher. It's just simple. Just follow what you see on the chart. Price is telling us what it wants to do in future. We are the ones that are not seeing it. You are not seeing it, right? So for it to break higher, so after breaking higher, what do? You wait for your retest. Price retested right here and pushed higher. Notice that it didn't break lower. It pushed higher this time around, right? It pushed higher to this point. Now, which means it has created a low now. It has left this point, this low and this low, these two major lows here. Oh, I need this to be moving quicker. All right, so price coming down, taking out this low. So this is more like break, retest, but the retest was not as massive, right? Before it continues. So breaking below low means it wants to keep going lower. You just wait for a retest. So that point is looking for entry, looking for where to take your trade from. You know that price wants to push lower. Your job is you don't want to buy after price has broken below. You don't want to buy low most times. Some people trade breakout, but sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. The best is after the retest. That's the best trade you can ever have, like the best trade, trust me, right? So you know it wants to go lower. Your problem now is, where do I now sell from after it has retested? All right, so that is the major problem we have. So price came lower right here, right? So notice also again, it broke lower. So I'm trying to make you understand this concept so that when we get to current market price, you should be able to tell what did price just do and what are we expecting in future. Okay, what the price just do and what are we expecting in future. Now you notice that this move right here is breaking above highs. It broke above high, right? Which means that price want to push higher in future. We only need to wait for a retest, which it has done here, and is pushing higher now. And it has pushed high. This is my daily time frame. I'm taking this for a very high time frame so that you can understand this concept. It has pushed high to a point where it has broken above previous high. So we just need to wait for a retest to continue pushing higher. So let's bring it to our lower time frames and put a context to it and look for our entry points, right? So you can see that price broke above this high. It tells you it wants to go higher. It's retested and pushed even further higher. Okay. So price retested and pushed further higher. It pushed higher than this, retested, and we are still expecting that push higher. All right, we are still expecting that push higher. Okay, so all we can do is to look for our entry points. All we can do is to look for entry points. You see this push high, retest around this level here. So just copy and paste this same strategy anywhere. All right, just copy and paste it. So it means that if we are going to have a retest, it should be not more than this level right here. Specifically, if you want to follow your order block around this zone here, which price is rejecting from. All right. So that is if it's going to push higher. Now, failure to push higher, and if it's pushing higher, it needs to take out this high. After having this high, every push, the last push has not been able to take out this high. So we still expect it to push higher, right? Now, if it fails to push high, if it comes lower and breaks this low, for instance, that means price does not want to go up again. It wants to go down. So you need to wait for a retest to continue selling it to push further to the downside. As simple as ABC. The execution is just what matters most. So all things being equal, we are still in the bullish momentum. So we expect price to keep pushing higher. And I expect that if it buys, we should target this area and even take it out to give us a continuous push to the upside. And that's for NZD USD. Lastly, for currencies, we'll look at USD JPY. USD JPY is, I think, my first here. Okay. So USD JPY has been, bullish again. Very much bullish again. All right. After we had some significant retracement, let me see. Oh, this 15 minutes. I was wondering what I was looking. So after we had significant retracement to the downside, this is my 4-hour time frame. All right, this is my 4-hour time frame. So let's look at our 4-hour time frame right here. After price breaking above this high, so we are looking at, if you're looking at price from the higher time frame, you're looking at what price should do in the long run. In the long run, right? In the long run. So for price breaking above these highs, we're expecting that price to keep pushing higher. After a retest, it pushed high a little, but then all of a sudden it came lower. Let me make it bigger so that you can see. We can see what we are talking about here. Okay, so this was an instance where price stopped pushing higher, instead of pushing lower now, instead of pushing lower. So it broke above this significant low right here, which is a signal that what price want to keep pushing lower, but you need to wait for a retest, which we had, and price kept pushing lower. And every point it breaks. So your trading opportunity is based on what you can see. Can you see when it breaks? And can you capture where the retest might be? So you can just keep taking your trades. You can just keep taking your trades. Where others are not seeing entry points to enter a trade, you know the direction, you know where your entry is possibly going to be, and we are just taking your trade, right? Just taking your trades. So, which it pushed lower, breaking below lows, push. We had now this was a break and continuous, a break and continue, but we now had a massive retest before it continues pushing lower. So from here now, let me take you to where what is happening currently. So let's move to current market price. Okay. Now, price broke this level. We're expecting that price should keep pushing lower in future, right? In future, which is for price to keep pushing lower in future, it's most likely highest should be from this level. Let me capture the top, the wick of the candle. Now, guess what? We had a little break above it, okay? A little break above it. Now, this was just slight break, not significant. Price came back all the way down. Now, price has started to break above highs, okay? But little highs, not yet the significant ones. So be careful on USD JPY. Price is now starting to break above little highs. Little highs, all right? What do I mean? Broke above this high, waited for retest, continue pushing higher, all right? Broke above this high. This was a massive retest, continue pushing higher. Now broke above this high. Also, no, broke above this high right here. So we have a retest, massive retest. Wow. No, this is not current market price. I'm looking for current market price. I'm so sorry. I'm looking for current market price. Yeah, this is current market price right here for USD JPY. So for you to understand the directional bias, so when we are done, just copy and paste. We don't have much time again, so I think I'll be very fast. Now price push higher, retest, push to this point, didn't break it. Now we have a break. So what are we expecting? A retest and a continuous push to the upside. Okay, so we've had price come to this level, so we can be waiting for price back at this level. As if it even comes back. If it even comes back, we have one, and we have these levels right here for price to come into. This level here for price to come into, for us to possibly have a continuous buy. All right, for us to continue buying right now. So if price breaks above this level here, this last high point here, we need to wait for a retest to keep buying it. All right. So I expect USJPY to keep pushing higher and higher, but we don't want to buy after price has gone high. We need to buy, wait for retracement before we buy, all things being equal. All right. So USDJPY is just one way traffic. It's more of bullish movement. So our gold, it has a natural uptrend, but it has been stalling for a while. Yesterday was a significant buy from early hours of the morning. No. Okay, gold. Yeah, this is gold. Yesterday, on a 1 hour time frame from early hours of the morning, was a significant buy. You know. So what we have here right now is a little break of structure. Okay, broke above this high a little. So we saw the retest, and now price is going up. And as it's going up, it's expected to take out this high. This high before that retest. Is expected to take it out. Now, after it takes it out, you can then wait for another retest to keep pushing higher. But in the long run, you expect gold to keep pushing higher down. Right? You expect gold to keep pushing higher. There's just one bus stop, one final bus stop. The final bus stop is, don't forget, before now, price came lower, took out this low. Right? Now, what it means is that in the future, price wants to push lower, but we need to wait for a retest. And that retest should be the highest point of the retest should be around the worst case scenario is the top part of this particular level. So if gold gets here, it might struggle to continue pushing up. You might want to sell because price just broke here. We have not had that complete retest. Price just broke, so we are expressing that interest to keep pushing lower. But if price goes back and breaks this level again to the upside, then we are officially massively bullish again, right? We're officially massively bullish again. So for now, gold is most likely to push higher into this particular level. I think someone wants to say something. Mr. DM, US 2000 and wheat. I think that's like your specialty. Okay, so that's for gold. Expect it to keep pushing high even up until this particular level here, right? Before we can have any sell. But if it breaks this level, then it's most likely continuing that upward momentum. Okay. So US 2000. Okay. US 2000. Let me see. What price is doing currently? Okay, so for US 2000 currently, let me go for my daily first. Okay, so we had this massive retracement. So last point where price broke this level, expecting to come back to test that level. What's going on? Okay, so it's just coming around this particular level to retest this level right here. Remember, we're bullish before, we're pushing higher and higher. But after a while, price couldn't push high again. It broke below this level. You'll see this particular level right here. So price broke below it. So if we extend it now, you will see that price is just coming to that level again. And worst case is price can still tap in. Price can still tap in. Remember, the particular leg that broke, this was where the move started from, that really broke that leg. There was a pulse here, so this is the main one that broke. So price can still push higher, but if price push higher and takes out, if price breaks this level, then it's aiming for up here. And if it breaks this level too, okay, if it breaks this level too, then we are officially bullish again. It will easily take out this high. It will easily take it out. All right, we are officially bullish again. So for now, US 2000 is at a point where we want to see reactions. Right, it's at a point where you want to see reaction before you determine what you are really going to do in this market. So price can just hit this point and start dropping again. But watch out for what price will do and how price does it. Let me adjust my chart. Watch out for what price will do and how price does it. We expect price to keep pushing higher and higher. But if you start seeing price breaking below lows, now the most recent major low is this level right here. If price can come here, break below this level, then you notice that price want to keep pushing lower now. Then you have a retest, right? Before a possible continuous push to the downside. For a possible continuous push to the downside. But don't forget, these guys have a natural uptrend from our weekly time frame. Even from our daily. I wish my weekly is opening now. Okay, good. All right, so this is your weekly time frame. Don't forget, they have a natural uptrend. US 2000, that's also 2000, has a natural uptrend. So it means that it favors more buy than sell. Yes, it favors more buy than sell. Whatever sell happens is temporary. When price will recover, it recovers massively. All right, recovers massively. So that is what I have to say. So most likely, watch out for a break to the upside. Watch out for a break to the upside. Then, we didn't do. Okay, let's just talk about weeks lastly before our time is almost. Time is almost up. So just apply the same concept, to whatever you are trading. Apply the same concept. These guys don't have a natural direction. We does not have a natural direction. It means both buys and sells can work. Both buys and sells can work. But we have been seeing up and down, but slightly to the downside. Okay, but slightly to the downside. So what are we seeing currently? So we see a break of this major low right here. Okay, price did a quick retest, pull up, and is trying to retest. So if you retest this point, if you get anywhere around this level, okay, we had another break. We had another minor break. Remember, we are day traders. Another minor break, retest. So price shouldn't go high above here. In fact, I think price is already starting that downward movement. So which should keep pushing forward most likely, because what we are seeing is break to the downside. Right? It break to the downside. Price, if you want to use your trend line, price has broken below this level right here. All right. Broken below, retested, and pushing lower. So it favors more bearish movements. I think this is much we can take for today, but I think I've been able to just show you one trick again of the market sleeve, trying to expose the market, trying to show you how the market really moves. It boils down to market structure. What you need to do is look out for your entry, right? Just where can you take your trade from? That is like the hardest part. All right, that's like the hardest part. But it's not that hard when you understand markets. You know where price should go, right? Even if you take the trade too early, you can have some drawdowns, some negative. When price gets where it wants to go to, then it has a high chance of now coming in the direction which you've been expecting price to. So guys, remember, please fund your accounts. We are still very much active with this. We are still very much active with this particular indicator. Very, very much active with it. And for those who have been using it or who have started using it, or no one has met me, but I'm sure they should already start seeing how well it works, right? They should start seeing how well it works already. So thank you very much for your time. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow again. And we have our online training also starting by 10 a.m. Please, the deadline is tomorrow, Friday. So fund your account, get the indicator. It will break down all of this process I'm talking about. It's just break it down for you and help you take your trades easily, right? So thank you so much. See you another time.